everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Katelyn and I post Disney videos and lifestyle kind of content here on my channel. And if you are a returning subscriber, then hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining. I am kind of excited to film this video, but truthfully kind of not, just because I'm gonna be in the fields today. So yeah, so as you can tell from the title, this is going to be me sharing with you guys some of the plans that we had when we originally had our trip booked for October of 2020 this year. So as you're watching this, I'm not 100% sure when it's going up, but as you're watching this, we either would have been in Disney or would have just been getting home from Disney if coronavirus wasn't a thing. So it's a hard day to film this, but I wanted to share this with you guys because I always do kind of videos like this where I kind of share what our plans are, or obviously we vlog and I show you guys everything that we're doing. So yeah, so without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so before every trip, during every trip, whatever, when we're planning a trip, I always use the same Google Sheets document that I plan out literally everything. So this is the Google spreadsheet that I use. This is from Little Miss Chicas, also Charlotte over on that channel. I'll leave the link to this down below. You guys can use it. It's amazing. You can put in your park hours, what park you're going to, what you want to do for events, your fast passes, dining reservations, and then I add a little outfits thing at the bottom because I'm extra, and when it comes down to it, I like to plan out the outfits. But yeah, so basically I'm just gonna get into it. When we had to cancel our trip, we had our dining reservations 100% booked in. We obviously had where we were staying booked in. We had what parks we wanted to go to already pre-planned. We just didn't have fast passes like officially like booked in because we canceled before then. But I can let you know some of the rides we would have been going on or would have been fast passing, because it probably will just help you guys out with any future plans in the future. This is sad. The last edit on this was made March 8th. So for this trip, we would have been staying at Walt Disney World. We would have been staying on property, and we were going to be staying at Port Orleans Riverside. Oh man, this is gonna be a hard video to get through. Oh my gosh, if I get emotional, I'm sorry. This is the first time I'm really like talking about the trip, because I've tried to just like erase it from my memory. So yeah, so if I cry, sorry. We would have been going from September 4th to September 11th. We were going to be staying at Port Orleans Riverside, and we were going to be staying in the Princess Suite room, which is, or the royalty suite room, whatever. Basically the room that has like the headboards that light up the fireworks, and they had the princess themes all through it. And yeah, it was going to be a beautiful vacation, and the reason we were going to be going at this time is because we would have been celebrating our 2-year wedding anniversary, and then also we had free dining, so that's why we were able to spend a little bit more to stay at one of the moderate resorts and get free dining. So yeah. Also, it would have been Austin's first ever trip at a moderate resort. I have already stayed at a moderate resort once before. We stayed at the Coronado Springs before the renos happened. But yeah, so this would have been the first moderate resort he would have stayed at. And yeah, some of the things that we would have been doing there. I was really excited for, obviously, just like the whole look of everything, because if you didn't know, Port Orleans is the top of my list for moderate resorts to stay at. I just think it is stunning, and I just love like the trees and the atmosphere of it. I also love that there's a boat that you can ride to get to Port Orleans French Quarter, and then you also can ride it to go to Disney Springs. And I would have loved to try some Mickey beignets because they have Mickey beignets at French Quarter, which obviously is connected. Yeah, so okay, so Starting on the first day, so our arrival day, we would have had a early morning flight. We had a flight that was going to be getting in at 9 a.m. So we would have had a full day at the parks, which is amazing. Normally we didn't like to do days in the park, but we tried once, like a day that we got there, and we loved it when we had like an early morning. So yeah. So we would have had the day in the park. We would have spent our day at Magic Kingdom because I always like to start my day off at Magic Kingdom. And in here, I had booked down that day was going to be a Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party day. So the park would have closed at 6. So we were going to head out of the park at probably around 5 and head over to the Hoop-de-Doo dining review, whatever it's called. And we would have had dinner there. And we kind of have made it a tradition that we do that on our first night. We did it once where we haven't, and we missed it so much. So that is like kind of our like thing now. So we would have done Hoop-de-Doo on our first night, and that would have been a dining reservation there. And that basically would have been the day. We probably would have gotten fast passes for Space Mountain, Splash Mountain, and probably Mine Train. Those probably would have been our 3 fast passes for that day. Yeah. So that would have been the first day. Our second day, which was a Saturday, we had planned for, so we would have had Animal Kingdom in the morning and then Magic Kingdom at night. We probably would have spent most of the day at Animal Kingdom, honestly, and then just done Magic Kingdom for fireworks. In here, I have for dining reservations, I just have breakfast and lunch. I had written down snacks, so we would have grabbed a snack, probably like the pulled pork fries at Flame Tree Barbecue, or like something along like that kind of line. And then for dinner, I had written down Ohana for a late dinner. That kills me. I'm so mad. We had Ohana when we stayed on our honeymoon, and we loved it so much. And we haven't done it the last couple trips, and we were gonna do it this trip. And that's why obviously I had written down snacks, because you don't want to eat too much before you go to Ohana for dinner. So that's why I had snacks written down there. But yeah, so that would have been basically what we did that day. We would have went to Magic Kingdom for fireworks that night. I have written down Ohana late, so I'm assuming that I had in my brain we were gonna do fireworks first and then go to Ohana for dinner. And yeah, so fast passes, we would have had fast passes for Animal Kingdom, and we most definitely would have had fast passes probably for, I'm assuming we would have done like Everest, Dinosaur, and probably the Safari. Yeah, probably the Safari. And then we would have rope dropped Flight of Passage, because that's like what we like to do. I don't really like to get a fast pass for Flight of Passage, because I find that it's really hard to get like an early morning fast pass. It's like normally in the later day. But if you just rope drop it, you're able to get on it like right in the morning. So all good there. So that's what we would have done for that day. And then our third day would have been a Sunday, and I have written down that we would have been in Magic Kingdom all day. So I have here, what the heck did I write? Oh, sorry. I have here that we would have been in Magic Kingdom very briefly in the morning. Then we would have been in Epcot basically all afternoon, and then went back to Magic Kingdom at night. And I'm assuming that's because there was fireworks at night. Yes, there is. So I have written down that we would be going to Crystal Palace for breakfast in the morning. Sorry, my lighting's getting weird because all of a sudden the sun's coming out over here. So anyways, so we would have done Crystal Palace in the morning for breakfast, which is the character breakfast with Winnie the Pooh and friends, and it is a buffet, and it's just like so delicious. I love it so much. So good. And then in the afternoon, we were going to be heading to Epcot, and we probably would have spent majority of the day in Epcot, and then we would have been doing the Food and Wine Festival mostly for that day, so no lunch reservations, but basically just like hitting up the different booths. I don't have any of the, normally I have all the booths written down that I wanted to try, but I don't think the booths were announced at the time of when we were able to be planning, so I didn't have that written down yet. But then So we would have been doing that. We would have had fast passes for Epcot. So we would have probably done, I know people are gonna roll their eyes at me, but we probably would have done fast pass for Frozen, Soarin', and, oh no, you can't do both. We probably would have done fast passes for Frozen, and then probably just like Nemo and Spaceship Earth, or maybe, yeah, probably Nemo and Spaceship Earth would probably have been the fast passes. It's hard to get fast passes in Epcot because like the 3 main attractions that you want to go on, you can only get one of them, and then the other ones you kind of just have to like do it so that you can able to like get more later. So probably would have been the ones we would have went on. And then in the afternoon / like night, I have written down here that we would have dinner at Pecos Bill, which would be a quick service restaurant. So no reservations or anything. I probably just wrote it down because like if we were hungry, we could have it. But at the same time, we would have been doing food and wine all day, so we might not have been hungry. So that's why I have that written down. And then of course we would have been doing fireworks. It's hard when you go in the fall because of the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties, you kind of have to plan if fireworks are like a priority to you, you kind of have to adjust your days based on what days the fireworks are going to be showing. So that's why we did Magic Kingdom and fireworks 2 nights in a row. So moving on to our 4th day, which is a Monday, we actually, even though there was Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, I don't think that we were gonna actually do the Halloween party this year, just because the main things for us the first year we went were the original fireworks, so like the 360 fireworks, and then the Boutique Parade, like my favorite thing ever. But those were like the main things, and when they changed the fireworks, it really just like was not, they're just not as good as the original ones. And last time we just like, not that we didn't have fun, but like, I don't know, there were just more priorities and like the cost of it and everything. We just weren't gonna do it this year. So anyways, moving on. So for our 4th day, it was going to be Hollywood Studios and Epcot. So basically what we were going to be doing is in the morning, we were going to rope drop Hollywood Studios. We were obviously going to be doing Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. This day was the day that I had written in that we would be really trying to get a boarding pass for, what's it called? Ride of the Resistance. Oh my gosh, sorry. Okay, so we would have been trying to get a boarding pass for that. So we were hoping to just kind of have a morning there. So then we would do Galaxy's Edge. We would also be doing probably Toy Story, and then all the other obviously fun things. Remind me to never film again when the sun comes up. Like wait until the sun is already up, not when it's on its way up. Okay, so yeah, so that would have been the morning. We would have done all those things at Hollywood Studios, and then in the afternoon / night, we would have been doing Epcot. So again, I just have written down food and wine, and then also we would have been doing the new Epcot fireworks because I think they would have been out at this point. So moving on to our 5th day, we have written down here Epcot in the morning and then Animal Kingdom at night. So in the morning, I had a breakfast reservation for Garden Grill, and we have never eaten here before, and we always like would have it written down that we would want to eat there, and then it would always get like pushed out of the way because we would never do like an Epcot early morning where we would want to just like sit and have dinner. We would always like be like rope dropping rides and stuff. So this was gonna be the trip that we were like, okay, we're actually gonna go in the morning, we're gonna have Garden Grill, and of course. So it'll have to be on our next trip. I'll have to make it a priority. But yeah, so we were gonna have Garden Grill in the morning. And then we were going to, I think, probably just head right over to Animal Kingdom because we had already spent a couple days in Epcot. We probably would have been done with it at that point. So then we were going to head over to Animal Kingdom, do Animal Kingdom basically for the full day. And then for dinner, I have a dining reservation for Homecoming. So Austin loves Homecoming. It is like so good. It's basically just like not deep fried. It's like fried chicken and like ribs, pulled pork. It's like delicious. It's at Disney Springs. So we would have done that. That would have been a late dining reservation because we would have wanted to see Animal Kingdom at night with all the lights. Then we would have went to Disney Springs. And then because we were at Disney Springs for the night, probably would have done some shopping and whatnot. But then also head back to our resort on the riverboat because we would have been on the Riverside Resort. Okay, so that would have been that day. And then we would have gotten our fast passes for Animal Kingdom that day. So again, we probably would have got Everest. Maybe we would have got a Flight of Passage fast pass because we would have been there later in the day. And then probably, I don't know, where else would we have gotten? Probably Dinosaur again, honestly. Yeah, that's probably what we would have done. Okay, moving on. So the 6th day, and this is our second last day in the parks, we were going to be basically spending the entire day at Hollywood Studios. So whatever we didn't get done on the first day, we would be just pounding it out on this day. So hopefully, we were hoping for another boarding pass for Rise of the Resistance. We would do Smuggler's Run. I'm sure we would have had fast passes for Tower of Terror. We would have went on Rock and Roller Coaster. And then, yeah, probably just all the rides. It's so easy to get everything done at Hollywood Studios because like it's just, there's not a whole lot of like rides to do there. So it's pretty easy to get them all done. For breakfast, we would have been, oh my gosh, this makes me so mad. For breakfast, we would have been going to the new Topolino restaurant. I definitely butchered that name, I'm sorry. But it's the new character dining at the Riviera Resort. And it's up at the top of their like new tower resort thing. And you have breakfast with Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Daisy, which like, how can you not want to have breakfast with like the original guys? And then you also, they're in like these cute little like artisanal outfits. So like, I think it's like Donald's a painter, Daisy's the dancer, Minnie's like fashionista Minnie. And then I think Mickey, or maybe Mickey's a painter. I don't know. They're cute though. But they're in these cute little outfits, and yeah, I was just like really excited, and just excited to check out the Riviera Resort. And then also the Riviera Resort is attached to the Skyliner, and we would have been going to Hollywood Studios that day, so we would have been able to ride the Skyliner, which we love. I know a lot of people like don't love it, but we like it. So yeah, so we would have done that. And then for dinner that day, we had dining reservations for California Grill. Which, if you don't know, that is my favorite, actually, I don't know if it's my favorite or like second favorite, it always switches, but one of my favorite places to eat at Walt Disney World is California Grill. It's on top of the Contemporary, and they just have like the best food ever. They have this goat cheese ravioli as an appetizer, and oh, so good. So good. And then our very last day, I have written down that we would do Hollywood Studios in the morning because we would have had one last hurrah to try and get a boarding pass for Rise of the Resistance, because I figured Austin would really want to go to do it. And then also the rest of the day would have been spent at Magic Kingdom. So in the morning, we didn't have a reservation obviously, but we had written down that we would be having Woody's Lunchbox, which if you don't know, I love Woody's Lunchbox. I think it's one of like the best quick service locations that there is on Disney property. I just like, it's very basic food, but it's just like so good and like so classic. So definitely would have gotten from there. And then we also have nothing for lunch. It would have kind of just been like a quick service lunch. And then dinner would have been, I have written down, again, not a reservation, but Casey's Corner, because if you don't know, we like kind of have another little tradition that we do at Disney where we camp out for the fireworks. So we sit down around like 7 o'clock, even though fireworks don't start for like an hour and a half or 2 hours sometimes after that. But we camp out, we each get like a big feast from Casey's. So we get like a big hot dog, we get fries, drinks, everything, and we basically just sit and people watch, and we wait for the fireworks. And yeah, so that's like what we always do on our last day. And then we watch fireworks, and then we just kind of like hang out in the park as long as we can on our very last day. And yeah, that would have been the last day. And then that would have been leading us to the next day, which was the 11th. We didn't have any park reservations for that day, and I think we had like, a midday kind of flight out, so we wouldn't have been doing anything that day. We probably would have just packed in the morning and then hung out in the lobby until we had to go. So yeah, that is basically the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was kind of different. I know we didn't include all of the plans that we possibly could have had, but I hope you still enjoyed this nonetheless. It was kind of nice reliving what would have been our Disney vacation. So yeah, hopefully soon we will be able to go back. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!